Liverpool take the field at White Hart Lane on a crisp, sunny autumn come winter's day, just ahead of Tottenham Hotspur, led out by Gary Mabbutt, Terry Venables' first team, and it includes Chris Waddle, you see him there, lining out in a Tottenham shirt after a prolonged injury absence, occasioned in an England international, that injury, and now here he is back in Venables' first lineup, but there is no place for Nico Klaassen, who's been out for a couple of weeks because of injury. He has to stay on the sidelines because of that injury. No place either for Ozzy Ardiles, who has a stomach bug. So Tottenham's lineup is not the first choice lineup that Terry Venables would have wished to send into the fray here. Klaassen misses his second match. Waddle is resuming for the first time since the local derby against Arsenal back in the Sunday in October the 18th, when Arsenal beat them 2-1 here. So Tottenham's team then, as I say, is not the one that Terry Venables would necessarily have wished to put into the fray. Tony Parkes continues in goal, his 8th appearance as Ray Clements' deputy. And as we watch the match officials take the field, there's an interesting point here. The man in the middle with the ball is the man we were looking at last week, Jim Borrett, who was in charge down at Wimbledon for the Manchester United game. Self-employed bricklayer from Norfolk is in charge here again. So he's following us around and we're following him around. Anyway, back to that Tottenham team with Parkes in goal and Houghton and Mitchell Thomas are the two fullbacks. There's a surprise choice at the heart of the defence. Neil Ruddock partnering Chris Fairclough there. And Gary Mabbutt captains the side. Waddle is back. Gary Stevens swaps shirts and wears an unaccustomed number 11. The two subs, Nico Klaassen, who it's felt wasn't fit enough to play, and Tim O'Shea, former Irish Schools international, who's made no appearances as yet in the Tottenham first team this season. The Liverpool lineup, well, Kenny Dalglish came to London saying that two of his players were injured, but he wouldn't say which two. Well, now we know that one of them was Peter Beardsley, who's missing for the first time this season, to be replaced by Paul Walsh, who hasn't figured in a Liverpool lineup since the middle of October when he played in the 4-0 victory over Queen's Park Rangers. With 13 goals, John Aldridge, their top league goal scorer, is there, as is John Barnes and Ray Houghton, and Gary Gillespie and Mark Lawrenson are figuring in the old-fashioned fullback shirt, but of course shirts mean little or nothing as far as Liverpool is concerned. Bruce Grobbelaar in the Liverpool goal has had 9 shutouts this season already. He hasn't conceded a goal in the 2 previous fixtures and has only conceded 3 in the last 11. There's your lineup as far as Tottenham's concerned in playing formation, with Fairclough and Ruddock the 2 centre-backs, Houghton and Thomas the 2 full-backs. Gary Stevens will play in midfield alongside Gary Mabbutt, and they are both normally defenders, along with Paul Allen and Steve Hodge. Clive Allen and Chris Waddle will be the 2 up front. And as for Liverpool, Lawrenson playing right back, with Gillespie and Hansen the central defenders, and Nicholl at left back, McMahon and Whelan the axis, with Houghton and Barnes wide, John Aldridge and Paul Walsh the 2 up front. We're ready for the off, and we'll hear from John Giles.
Well, I think all teams are G'd up for the visit of Liverpool, but I think today is a special occasion for Spurs with Terry Venables taking over as manager, and they should be well G'd up, and I expect a lot of enthusiasm from them, especially in the early stages.
So it's Liverpool all in red as usual, playing right to left in the first half as we look on. The other business about the Liverpool defensive record, they haven't been conceding too many this season. Terry Venables, as a player and a manager against Tottenham, has never managed to, against Liverpool rather, has never managed to find the net through his charges. So the omens inauspicious for Tottenham on this particular day, as Mark Lawrenson pulls that one across the face of the goal. Walsh went up, it was won by Mitchell Thomas. John Barnes, and no trouble in the end to Tony Parkes. John Barnes, what a revelation he's been since moving from Watford to Liverpool. Free kick floated by Ronnie Whelan. Lawrenson able to send over the cross. Thomas got it away. Barnes onto it like a flash, got away. Meanwhile, at the other end, there's Aldridge there. If there was an infringement, it's Tottenham's free kick. Hodge back to Thomas. McMahon away. And Paul Allen for Chris Hughton. Waddle was just wrong-footed there. Mitchell Thomas. Well controlled by Stevens. Beaten by Lawrenson. And the throw awarded to Tottenham. Waddle. It's come now to Hughton again. Paul Allen, Stevens going after it, and Lawrenson appeared to concede the corner, but Stevens had gone in showing studs. It's a free kick to Liverpool. Hansen. Now with Hodge, cut out by Ray Houghton, and Walsh going in. And behind for a goal kick to Tottenham.
Well, I think Tottenham will put Liverpool under as much pressure as they possibly can by getting tight on them in midfield and all over the field. But Liverpool are very, very used to this, and with players like Lawrence and Hansen, and Gillespie at the back and Nickel, they can really soak it up, and it is a very difficult match for Spurs today.
Well done by Clive Allen, hooked away by Nickel, and now it's fallen for Chris Hughton. The poor ball out of defence. John Barnes to Walsh. Allen dispossessing McMahon. Mabbutt to Mitchell Thomas. Now Paul Allen, Hughton offering support on the outside. Allen again. Stevens, lovely ball back to Paul Allen. And Grobbelaar took flight. The shot was always curling away, but enterprising football from Tottenham.
Very good work by Spurs there. Great approach work, and it's nice to see that Terry Venables is already encouraging his team to play from the back. Beautiful 1-2. Ronnie Whelan's just caught a little bit on the blind side there. Good shot from Allen, always curving away from the goal. So I think Grobbelaar probably had it covered anyway. But a very good move from Tottenham.
Barnes. It's rolled a little too far for Whelan. That came off the head of Neil Ruddock and has gone behind for a corner to Liverpool.
Well, the way the pace of the game at the moment is very, very good, and it looks like this could be a really good game, one of the best we've seen on the television, because Liverpool will have a go at Spurs, and Spurs are geared up, obviously, to do well under Terry Venables. Looks like it's going to be a very, very good game.
Barnes spotting it up for the corner. And Barnes again. And Fairclough doing well in the air. Eventually putting it out. It's the throw to Liverpool. Paul Allen's body is in the way. That's Liverpool's throw. Lawrence can retrieve it. Walsh. Aronson. He was pushing there. The part of Paul Walsh. It's a free kick to Tottenham Hotspur. And there he is on his first day in charge, first match day in charge. Beside him, Alan Harris, the man who brought us number 2 from Barcelona. Hansen. Rather days ago there. Waddle was on top of him. Liverpool captain. It's now a throw to Tottenham. Stevens. It's Paul Allen. Mabbutt trying to help it on. Mitchell Thomas. Now Barnes. Looking for Houghton. Cut out by Thomas. It's Ruddock. McMahon. And Mabbutt bringing some order to the proceedings. Houghton. Finding Waddle. And taking on and beating Hansen. It was Gary Gillespie who headed it away. That'll do Chris Waddle good. He's been out injured for quite some time. His first comeback unsuccessful, but he beat the Liverpool skipper for pace there. This now Steve Nicol at the other end. And a very good challenge by Mitchell Thomas. A challenge which has resulted in a goal kick to Tottenham.
It was interesting to see Chris Waddle is playing up front alongside Clive Allen, which is unusual for Spurs. He never looks the fittest player in the world, Waddle, and he's been out for a few weeks, and maybe that might tell him his little lack of match fitness today.
There's Gary Mabbutt, the Tottenham captain. This is Chris Houghton. And Walsh went in too hard. Jim Borrett has blown the whistle. Mabbutt went in. Now Whelan. Aldridge chasing it. Mitchell Thomas there. That's another goal kick. Mitchell Thomas. Clive Allen unable to direct the header anywhere meaningful. Houghton towards Lawrenson. And that's meant for Steve Nicol. Came through a veritable crowd of players, and Nicol didn't see it until late, although he'd begun the run, and nothing came of it. 10 minutes gone. Tottenham 0, Liverpool 0. Lawrenson thought about sliding in, thought better of it, and now Waddle. Tottenham plenty of men forward, but nobody just over there where Waddle played it. On by Walsh, and it's Aldridge against Ruddock, and Aldridge pulling the defender. Neil Ruddock, just his third start in the first team this season. Whelan dispossessed by Paul Allen, and And then McMahon knocking him over, no foul.
I must say I like the approach by both teams. They're both trying to play out from the back. Liverpool, as they normally do with Hansen and Gillespie. But with respect to Spurs, they're doing it as well, and they really should get a good flow to the game today. I think Houghton has made his mark already. He's very busy as usual, and Johnson's a good player for Liverpool, but I think Houghton will do it even better.
Meanwhile, Liverpool in some disarray. Clive Allen has been penalised for a handball. Grobbelaar came and then stopped and thought about it. Allen got in, but handled the ball.
I think Houghton and Grobbelaar and Gillespie are having the right go this year. I think Gillespie's right. I think Grobbelaar should have come and taken that. He shouldn't have hesitated. He should have come all the way and just taken it away.
Mabbutt, but Stevens hadn't continued forward. Offside against Steve McMahon and Ray Houghton. Well, he held out on leaving Oxford for the big club, but eventually Liverpool came and got him. So Houghton is there, yet another a long line of green shirts to play in the red of Liverpool. It's McMahon. Waddle with him. Kenny Dalglish and Roy Evans, Liverpool bench. To Barnes. Trying to play it off Walsh. It's broken to Paul Allen. Needed a quicker break than the one the Tottenham have been able to give it. Everybody in the middle third of the field now. Waddle. Oh, he picked out Gary Stevens so well. Clive Allen in the middle. Stevens opting for the shot.
Another good move by Spurs and a good ball from Waddle. I think Stevens at the end could have had a bit more conviction about his shot. He's really catching himself in two minds here. I think he was thinking of crossing it. But you can see him running onto it here. He doesn't really hit it with any great conviction. I think he could have got over it a little bit better, or either taken it on.
Clive Allen back to win it back. Newton towards Waddle. In goes Gillespie, and that's Gary Stevens back towards Waddle. Waddle against Hansen. I think Waddle was looking for the free kick there. Certainly the Tottenham support felt that the whistle might have sounded. Got it, cut that out. Mitchell Thomas, and now Mabbutt. Quarter of an hour of the match gone, and no goals as yet. Won by Hansen. And Barnes coming away with it. Mabbutt was determined, but not determined enough. And offside against Paul Walsh. Play on to the referee, and that's a sensible advantage to play, as the ball is in the possession of a Tottenham player. Well, they'll take any vantage point to get a look in here. That's on top of the main west stand, and quite how they got up there's anybody's guess. But 48,000 capacity expected, and it certainly looks that way. Been a lot of movement around the terraces as they reshuffle the crowd onto the running track and back in again. to try and spread the load. Everybody wants to see this game. You have the good fortune to have the best seat in the house with none of the discomfort of the swaying terraces. Houghton. Aldridge trying to connect. Would have been a spectacular shot if he had. John Aldridge, 13 goals in the league for Liverpool this season. Won by Hansen. And a free kick is going to be awarded against Steve Hodge for the challenge on Ray Houghton.
Well, I think there was somebody sent off for doing that last week, and he did have a go at him there. There was a little bit of a tangle, but Hodge is a little bit hot-tempered, and he's inclined to do things like that.
Here it is again. Hodge and Houghton together. There you are. Clear case of use of the elbow. And he's gone. Well, John predicted as much. The pictures confirmed it. And 18 minutes into the match, Tottenham are down to 10 men. Steve Hodge has been sent off.
Well, I think it's a good decision by the referee, and I think once you lift your hand, and he did lift his hand there, he gave Houghton an elbow there, it probably across the face, and you can't do things like that in football and expect to stay in the field. And the referees, particularly this year, are stricter than ever, and I think Hodge had to go there.
So Steve Hodge posing an immediate problem for his manager, Terry Venables. Quite clear on the replay what was involved. And Houghton feeling not too hot on it with the look of it, but at least he is fit to resume. And the game will continue with a free kick.
I think it was conspicuous there as well that Terry Venables didn't get off the bench to console Hodge in any way. I think Terry Venables is a pro long enough to know that you can't do things like that. That was a very foolish thing to do, and he's really now, his team is down to 10 men, and it was bad enough for 11.
Well, Houghton no doubt will be roundly booed for the rest of the match, but I don't think anyone who's not totally committed to Tottenham Hotspur could possibly quibble with the assessment of John Giles. Here goes Waddle. And that was Gillespie across to knock the ball out of play. Well, now the White Hart Lane fans have found their voice. That's out. Goal kick to Liverpool. Whelan. Looking for Aldridge. Gary Stevens playing it back to his keeper.
Liverpool will make Spurs pay for that. But Gillespie and Hansen at the back come onto the ball and really make it very, very difficult for Ladden up front to cover the ground. And Liverpool will really keep possession of the ball now. Very silly thing for Hodge to do, and I'm sure Terry Venables won't be pleased with that.
Whistle's gone. For a free kick against Clive Allen. Tottenham reverting to the David Fleet style of one striker, although without Hodge it means there are just the four in midfield. Clive Allen all alone up front. Walsh. Nichol. Out, wanting it up the line. Ruddock's gone to cover. A good challenge by the Tottenham defender, but it's corner that results. He doesn't have the face of a 19-year-old, does he? So Gillespie goes up. John Aldridge is hovering on the penalty spot. Barnes curling it under the crossbar, and Parks doing a sensible thing. Tony Parks, who won the UEFA Cup for Tottenham with a memorable penalty save final against Anderlecht here some years ago. Never been the first choice as the goalkeeper, but he's risen to the challenge when required. It's Houghton's corner. Nickel going in. Walsh is offside. Well, troubled Watford, who've had their disputes off the field, aren't having too many on it. Kenny Jackett getting that goal that puts them 1-0 up. We'll have to go back a notch or two. Tottenham's ball. Well, it seemed dangerous from Mitchell Thomas. Aldridge went sliding in. Midway through the first half, no goals, but a red card from the referee for Tottenham, Steve Hodge, using his elbow in the face of Ray Houghton. So Spurs down to 10 men. It's Gary Stevens.
Well, it really is difficult for Spurs. Look at the room now that Liverpool will have on the ball. They'll really make use of it. They won't be in any hurry getting forward, and they'll just keep the Spurs players chasing and be very, very patient trying to get a goal. Very difficult for Spurs and Allen up front now today.
It was John Barnes looking for McMahon. He caught the foot of Chris Fairclough in his face. The 6 of one, half a dozen of the other there. McMahon went in. Fairclough went for the ball. The long legs travelled just as high as McMahon's head. The referee saw no malicious intent. Foul given, and Barnes takes the free kick. And that was Gary Gillespie's header, saved by Tony Parks. Nickel. It's Houghton against Fairclough. That's gone to go to Liverpool. Houghton, Aldridge diving in. Some way off connecting with that.
Again, it shows Liverpool's professionalism. With all the hassle going on over the sending off, they're just getting on with the game. Houghton has been unfairly booed by the crowd. It wasn't his fault if Hodge struck him. But the rest of the Liverpool players are just playing as if nothing had happened and just gone on in the normal way.
Allen fouled by Hansen. So Waddle comes to take the free kick. Ruddock had gone up by Allen. But the free kick awarded for a spot of pushing by the big central defender. Free kick which Liverpool want to take quickly, but the referee wants them to wait a while.
Ruddock is a young player, and he certainly doesn't lack in aggression. And so far, he's done everything that's been asked of him at the back. And he looks a useful player.
Gillespie, driven wide to Barnes. What a super ball. Aldridge in the middle, and so too Walsh. But Houghton was in the way. And that's Tottenham's ball. The ready smile from the Irish defender. Barnes dispossessing Stevens. And then Lawrenson licking it back. Nobody there to take advantage. Gillespie. Nicol. And just shaped to cut off the back pass, so Nicol plays it long. Ruddock was caught a little out of position. Fairclough acrobatically away. Whelan. And Houghton and Walsh tangling. And the ball breaking satisfactorily for Chris Houghton. And in the end off Barnes, it's a throw to Tottenham. Completely missing his kick. Lawrenson to McMahon. And here comes Lawrenson again. He'd taken up a good forward position there. Mitchell Thomas was aware of the danger. John Barnes corner. And Parks got lost a bit there, having the back pedal to whip it away from underneath the crossbar. The corner quickly taken. Houghton to McMahon. He's never on the target. Goal kick Tottenham. Half an hour gone. No goals.
I think Barnes is swinging the corners in particularly well on the right side, and Parks is getting a little bit towards the ball too much, and Barnes just swinging a little bit extra and stretching to get back at it. But Liverpool really dominating the game here, and which I expect him with the extra player.
Gillespie. Mitchell Thomas. That was Paul Allen sliding in to win it back. Now it's Houghton for Liverpool. Barnes. Lawrenson going on the outside. Whelan. Gillespie. McMahon. Again Paul Allen in to win it back, and it's the cousin Clive now. And Chris Waddle, of whom little has been seen since the opening flourish. Ruddock. To Houghton. Lawrenson, throw to Spurs. Only pitched a few yards there. Ruddock was coming for everything there, but Walsh skipped away from him. Now Walsh against Houghton. Out towards Aldridge. Ruddocker got back. And they mixed it up themselves, and there was offside in any case against Ronnie Whelan. Free kick to Tottenham.
Spurs are down to 10 men, and a couple of players not really performing for them as they're normal. Chris Houghton is having a little bit of a rough time. He doesn't seem as confident as usual. And Mabbitt in midfield was also a driving force for them normally. He's not really on his game today. And that's really reducing Spurs to very, very little.
Houghton, of course, who made his seasonal debut only at the end of October against Nottingham Forest. He's only started in the side 5 times this season. For today, Barnes offside. There's a few areas Terry Venables to work upon. Of course, he still awaits the return of his first choice goalkeeper Ray Clements. Without Ardiles, but Ardiles, like Clements, is in the veteran stage. There's no Steve Hodge for a while due to suspension. So it's by no means a straightforward task he's taken on. Clive Allen suggesting that perhaps the Liverpool defender was guilty of the offence that had Hodge sent off. And Barnes, the other end, for the Anfield Reds. Lawrence available. It's towards Nicol. Won by Mitchell Thomas. Now McMahon. Corner for Liverpool.
Barnes should be the danger man for Liverpool today, because with the extra man, he can afford to get wider. If there is a fault in his play, I think he gets a little bit too far in, about 15 yards too far in off the touchline. And if he really hugs the touchline today, he get plenty of the ball and really stretch the Spurs defence, because he has the ability to take them on once he gets in good possession of the ball.
So this Liverpool's 6th corner, indicative of the kind of pressure they've been able to exert, while Tottenham have struggled to come to terms with the absence of one of their players. Nico Platt is warming up on the touchline. Perhaps Venables considering sending him into the fray even at this early stage, as Barnes whips another one in. Thomas. That's out for throw to Liverpool. Man, what a wasted opportunity. Ten minutes to half time, and Tottenham may lead in terms of men sent off, but neither side in front as yet. To unsettle Lawrenson, but the defender did well. Only top of the table side in Scotland, suffering due to Robert Fleck. 1-0 to Rangers. Incidentally, Fleck was supposedly on his way to Watford not so long ago. They managed to score against another side near the top of the table without him, Kenny Jackett. And Watford won, Arsenal nil. Gary Stevens struggling here. Barnes to Whelan. Barnes again. Lawrenson and Whelan. And that was cut out by Chris Fairclough, but Stevens slow to react. It's Tottenham's throw though. Newton's throw. Lawrenson, who's seen a lot of the ball this afternoon and quite effective in the left-back spot for Liverpool. It's another, didn't go quite where it was intended. Mitchell Thomas, Chris Waddle, and Thomas again. And now Lawrenson once more. Barnes. Lawrenson. Away there by Thomas. Fairclough, rather. The throw once again to Liverpool. Lawrenson. Whelan. Snapshot. Well taken by Parks.
For all the possession, that's the first shot that Liverpool have really got in. And I think when the ball's on the right, the inside right position, and Barnes should get wider and get the ball out to him quickly, and he's got to have a go for his shooting. He's just stopping the ball and playing it inside, and Liverpool have to start all over again. If they're going to get any penetration, then Barnes is, it'll finish up with Barnes most of the time. He's got to get past for shooting.
Lawrenson again. Barnes. Whelan. McMahon's gone on the run. Parks taking charge. Out by Chris Fairclough. Nicol and Houghton chasing and run it back. Well, Waddle didn't have the speed off the mark to take advantage of that. It's Ruddock who's sick of the battle at the back. Allen didn't really look where he was playing that. Nicol to Lawrenson. Aldridge up. And Walsh now. Got no power in that.
I'd just like to see a little bit more individualism from some of the Liverpool players. I think Walsh and Houghton in particular now, they should be getting the ball, trying to get turned at the Spurs defence. And get Barnes out wide and get him having a go at Newton. Barnes now is down the centre circle at the moment.
Well run by Paul Allen. Here goes Clive Allen. And that's a foul. Another clumsy challenge by Steve Nicol. So Allen finally getting a free kick. And boos for the Liverpool team as a free kick is awarded against them. The north end of White Hart Lane where the Tottenham boards are massed. Waddle turning it in. Ruddock went up. But it was Lawrenson, I think, who got it away. The Tottenham have been awarded the throw by the referee, but the linesman says it's Liverpool's ball, but the linesman is back on the halfway line. And the referee closer to the action saying, I saw it touch a Liverpool man's boot. So the linesman overruled. In fairness, the referee was closer to the action. It's a terrible ball by Chris Hughton. And retrieved by Gary Mabbutt. Mitchell Thomas. And Allen going in underneath Nicol. The referee saying that is not right. Free kick to Liverpool. 3.5 minutes to the break. No goals. Well, news of the big match at Easter Road. Frank McAvenny breaking the deadlock there. Celtic lead Hibernian 1-0. So the two Glasgow teams 1 up against their Edinburgh rivals. But even as I'm talking to you, I hear the Heart of Midlothian have got their equaliser against Glasgow Rangers. So one from Robert Fleck. One from Galloway to tie it up at 1-1. Time and the score in the background. Half-time approaching, and I should think Terry Venables will be glad to get them into that dressing room to get them sorted out. Now, how much sorting out can you do with a team down to 10 men? Freely admitted he wouldn't have chosen Liverpool for his first match. That's Paul Allen going through. That's a goal kick. And Allen furious with the referee. This, I dare say, will be talked about in the pubs and clubs of North London as the one that was robbed by the referee and not Liverpool. This is Chris Waddle. Gary Stevens with a forward run, with meat and drink to Alan Hansen. Gillespie. Straight upfield from Mavitt to Chase. Gillespie tidying it up. The Tottenham trying frantically to get the possession back. Liverpool content to play keep ball in their own half. Now Hansen. And of course is what frustrates the opposition on so many occasions. They can't get the ball back, and if they don't get the ball, they can't score. As Barnes tried to thread one through to Nicol. It wasn't a particularly good ball. And here's Mitchell Thomas. Waddle. Fouled by Ronnie Whelan. Has to be said, he hasn't looked his sharpest today.
Well, again, when Barnes got the ball there, he's going across the pitch again. He's got to get up the line, because if they don't, even with the Spurs of only 10 men, they've got to get some penetration. And he's the one that's most likely to give it to them, because the ball will end up at him most of the time. He's coming across the field far too much.
Into the final seconds of the first half, the final minute. Liverpool are offside. Well, Terry Venables was saying that he wouldn't have chosen Liverpool as his first opposition, but you've got to make the best of it. They've been the best of first half for Tottenham. They've been down to 10 men for the greater part of it. I'm finding it very difficult to get the ball off the 11 wearing Liverpool colours. Houghton. Cut out by Fairclough. In any event, Aldridge was offside.
I must say, I think Spurs will be much happier the way the game is going than Liverpool, because for all the possession, they're not really getting any penetration or shots on the goal. I think we've seen one shot from Liverpool, and really that's not good enough. When they hold the ball and Barnes goes across the pitch, it is giving Spurs a chance to go out and play offside. He's got to get down the line and give him a bit of width there.
Well, the thoughts of John Giles to round off the first half. Kenny Dalglish doubtless will have his opinions to offer to the Liverpool squad, as will Terry Venables to the Tottenham squad. Half-time at White Hart Lane then. Steve Hodge gone, sent off after 18 minutes. Tottenham down to 10 men, but still at half-time, holding Liverpool. Tottenham 0, Liverpool 0. Second half about to get underway at White Hart Lane. Terry Venables has resisted the temptation to change the lineup of 10 that he already has on the pitch. So both sides start the second half as they ended the first. Liverpool with their 11 and Tottenham with 10, Hodge having been sent off. Tottenham, of course, in the second half are playing from right to left. Barry Stevens, Waddle, Stevens again. Now Houghton, Mabbutt, Paul Allen, right break to Waddle, and hooked in very close to GROBBELAAR, too close to him for Allen to take advantage. Lawrenson operating in this second half in the right back position, so a little tactical reorganisation on the Liverpool side, and Nicol now playing left back in support of John Barnes. Walsh, McMahon, and Mabbutt had to get in there. Walsh can't connect. It's a corner to Liverpool.
But I think he might have put Nicol over there to give them a little bit of penetration on the left. I wouldn't necessarily agree with it, because I think Barnes should be able to do that on his own.
Played back to McMahon and back into Nicol, who was offside. Both referee and linesman right in line. Be a familiar sight every other week. The home matches, and wonder will the crowd is so furrowed every week. Greatest of starts for Terry Venables as manager, losing the match so quickly. But his team is still 0-0 against the league leaders, which in its way is more an indictment of Liverpool than it is of Tottenham. Given what has gone before. Paul Allen played through in the hope of finding something, but no one had made the forward run. For ALDRIDGE, who's not offside. Walsh is in the middle, and Walsh aiming for goal but not getting the clean contact on it. Now Whelan, and this time Nicol's not offside, and he could have made a lot more than that, and he knows it. Now Waddle against Lawrenson, success, and now a throw.
Well, that was the chance of the game. Nicol tried to chip the goalkeeper, and it was the right thing to do, but he didn't do it very, very well, and really a good chance for Liverpool, that.
Stevens. It's Hansen, McMahon, Walsh, ALDRIDGE. Support from Houghton, and a good stop by Parks. That was Liverpool at their flowing best.
That's more like Liverpool now. They're getting a bit of penetration about the whole business. Could have put it a little bit harder there. I think John ALDRIDGE fought Houghton and gave him a really clear shot. The defender was on top of him a little bit there when he was about to hit it.
So Liverpool with a corner. John Barnes to take it. Away by Mitchell Thomas. So another opportunity for John Barnes. And again, Thomas got the touch on, and Fairclough can complete the job. Distribution from defence not 100% there. Hansen offside against Gillespie. Cut out by Lawrenson. Aldridge wants it up ahead, and that's a good ball. Fairclough cutting it out. Putting pressure on Mitchell Thomas. And that's a Tottenham ball. 5 minutes of the second half gone. No score. Liverpool. Now Hansen. Again. Throw is Liverpool's way. Aldridge, Whelan, and out again. Lawrenson, Whelan, and that's Nicol. And releasing Barnes, getting behind the defence this time. Look for Aldridge, cut out by Ruddock. Nicol. Stevens doing the tackling. Whelan. And they just fallen into the wrong formation there. Clive Allen. Waddle. It's meant for Paul Allen, who's always a rather optimistic ball. Waddle. There always is a languid sort of a look about him. Appears to be even more so. Only recently recovered from injury, perhaps he's not fully recovered. Barnes. Whelan back. Gillespie. Nichol's gone on a run up the left, and he's beaten the offside. And they've two in the middle, possibly three. Steve Nicol trying to beat Parks in the near post. The goalkeeper was alive to it.
No, a great ball by Gillespie to put Nicol through. And Spurs are playing the offside trap, and as soon as the ball's delivered there, they're in a bit of trouble. And really, Nicol should have done better from this position. I think once he got it, had pulled it back, you'll find that Whelan and Aldridge are lining up at the far post to get it there.
Barnes. Nicol. The deflection there, it's a corner.
Spurs are getting a hiding at the moment.
The only place their honour has been preserved is on the scoreboard. 9 minutes into the second half, it remains Tottenham 0, Liverpool 0. But you have the feeling that the breakthrough has got to come sooner rather than later. John Barnes with the corner. Nicol up. Goal kick.
I think Kenny Dalglish would have told him at half-time that to expect more from themselves in the game, because really Spurs are there for the taking, and they've really got to get at them, which they are doing in the second half and doing it very, very well.
on the run. Ruddock got up. Yeah, shot from Cooper very much sometimes. Gillespie got out there by Chris Hughton. Well, that's the early ball delivered for Paul Allen. He got in his tackle on Hansen. Satisfying honour if nothing else. It's Liverpool's throw. McMahon to Barnes. Even Aldridge, and it's come to Houghton. There's no offside, and Houghton denied by Parks.
Well, they can thank Parks in that position. Ronnie Whelan, a little bit lucky here on the 1-2, got a break, put Houghton through. Tried to flick with the outside of his right foot past him. Good save from Parks, excellent save.
Barnes, that's gone, goal kick.
That move started with a great ball from McMahon out to Barnes on the left touchline, and I think that's what Liverpool have got to do. They've got to get Barnes out, hugging that left touchline, give him the width, and it'll stop him getting offside. And once he gets it out there, I think Barnes has the ability to go at Chris Hughton, who is not playing well himself, and I think he must be pleased every time Barnes comes inside and doesn't have a go at him.
Houghton. No Liverpool man there. And hooked away by Hughton. Through. Stevens can't find a way through, but has won a free kick. Dispossessed by the ground more than anything else. This afternoon becomes evening, and the top surface becomes dew-laden. Thomas going backwards. This kick by Gillespie. Clive Allen presenting it to McMahon. Barnes, McMahon. And Nicol. Still they keep the possession. Whelan to Barnes. Free kick awarded against Gillespie there. Foul on Clive Allen. And Waddle takes it and wastes it, and it's a goal kick to Liverpool.
Tottenham are attacking and give the ball away, it looks like Liverpool have 2 or 3 extra men because of the quality of players they have. Hansen, Gillespie, Lawrence and Nicol, all back four players, but prepared to get on the ball and very, very comfortable coming forward.
Offside against Paul Walsh. Quarter of an hour of the second half played. Still it's Tottenham 0, Liverpool 0. Suggesting they go wide, but I don't think they could get much wider than that. Right out of play. Played by Houghton for Paul Allen. And he's done well here. Whelan sticking to him though. Roll back towards Stevens. And another opportunity goes a begging. Suddenly, by the noise, they'll gather that the home fans feel they're on the crest of some kind of a wave. Nicol was pushing Chris Houghton. It's a free kick to Spurs. Waddle swinging it. And the contact was made by Gary Mabbutt, but he couldn't direct it onto the goal.
Well, Spurs are playing with plenty of spirit, and I think Terry Venables has got to be pleased about that. Good free kick, and Mabbutt's always likely to get his head on one. Not much danger really, because well over the top, and Bruce Grobbelaar had it well covered.
Houghton, Clive Allen having a little go at him there. It's found through to Aldridge, and now McMahon, and this time Parks is beaten.
Excellent goal from Liverpool, and if you watch the replay, if it goes back far enough, Clive Allen made a terrible effort to try and get back at Houghton, I should say. He didn't make a genuine effort. He was more intent at kicking him. And I think Terry Venables has got to get a grip on the Spurs side in the future and get a discipline about the play that Liverpool have. It hasn't gone back that far, but an excellent move once Houghton made a good break into McMahon, and a great finish really. But Clive Allen should have made a better effort, and there's plenty of mouth out of Clive Allen at the referee for all sorts of things. So I think that's something about Spurs play that Terry Venables will have to get right, because that really cost him the game. If he made a genuine effort there, Clive Allen, he might have stopped the goal at the halfway line.
So Steve McMahon, just as he did to break the duck the other night against Watford, getting the first, and you may recall in the league game against Everton, after Everton had knocked them out of the Little Woods Cup, it was McMahon who got the first goal on that occasion to send them to a victory. So can Tottenham come back? Ruddock, Waddle, and now Houghton. Paul Allen, Waddle again. Houghton, Stevens, Houghton once more. The corner saved by Nicol. Barnes back to tidy up. Mitchell Thomas.
Well, I must say, it's no more than Liverpool deserve. The performance in the second half has been very, very good. They're getting at the Spurs defence and really putting them under pressure. And I think it was inevitable that they would score.
And if we think back to the saves that Tony Parks made but for a goalkeeper in form, Liverpool would have broken the deadlock as they did earlier. Ronnie Whelan now looking for Barnes, put out by Clive Allen. Newton, Fairclough and Thomas. Abbott. And Tottenham going nowhere fast. Twenty minutes of the second half gone, 1-0 to Liverpool. Lovely 1-2 with Houghton, and Nichols there, and once more Parks to the rescue.
I think that's exactly the reason that Kenny Dalglish put Nicholl on that side. He's good at getting at people, and that's what they needed on that left-hand side. And that's what he was very, very close to getting through there. The goalkeeper made a good save again.
Barnes back to McMahon. Rolled for Whelan. An important interception by Gary Mabbutt, because Houghton was off and running. Off Fairclough that one was by Gillespie. Whelan. Houghton. Whelan. And Lawrence. Take on Thomas, but he showed rather too much of the ball to him there. Walsh. Stevens away. Houghton trying to get it back in. Flag is up. It's offside against Liverpool.
Always plenty of Liverpool players around the ball when the red shirt is in possession. But what's been very, very good about Liverpool today, you talk about the professionalism over the years, but when the game could have blown up, and they could have blown up a bit when Houghton was involved with that incident with Hodge. But instead of that, they got on with the game, no talking back to the referee, no silly fouls, just got on as if nothing had happened, and that's a credit to them, and has been over the years to Liverpool.
Up to Walsh. And Tottenham want to make a substitution. Chris Hughton is going off, and Nico Klassen is coming on. Hughton has had injury problems this season, and Nico Klassen, who hasn't been quite right since Mark Dennis had a go at him and got sent off in the QPR Tottenham match a fortnight ago. And Liverpool do something similar, sending on Craig Johnson in place of Paul Walsh. So a double substitution. Walsh wearing Peter Beardsley's shirt, but not proving terribly effective. Now what have we got in the way of a Tottenham line-up? We'll see Nico Klassen push forward alongside Clive Allen. And the midfield reduced to 3. Mabbutt has gone back into a defensive role. ALDRIDGE rising off Thomas. No fouls to the referee. Paul Allen. Klassen wants it up the line. It's rebounded instead to Gary Stevens. Barnes. Good challenge that by Neil Ruddock. minutes to go. Liverpool lead Tottenham by 1-0. Craig Johnston, too many white shirts around. Still Waddle. Well, eventually he beat himself. Out. Gillespie. And Ruddock went in. And Ruddock showed the studs there as he did go in. I think more inexperienced than anything else. And Neil Ruddock down and injured.
Well, the most peculiar incident because, as George says there, it was the young first player who showed the studs initially, and I think Gillespie was getting out of the way. Watch Ruddock as he comes inside here. He's the one that's getting his high with the tackle. There. I think Gillespie did leave his foot there a little bit, just caught him on the outside of his shin.
So Ruddock in just his fourth senior appearance this season. Feeling the pain.
I think it's at this stage now that the hard sending off becomes particularly significant because Liverpool are pushing the ball around well, making up the extra man all the time. I say with Hansen and Gillespie coming forward particularly well, they really have them going.
So Mr. Venables leaves the bench. And Mirandinha among the goals at Tynecastle. I was saying Tynecastle, Tyneside, of course. Newcastle United leading Charlton bottom club by 2-1 at St James's Park on Tyneside. Neil Ruddock fit to resume at the heart of the Tottenham defence. And as fit as he can be at the moment, he's going to march on Barnes. Lawrenson, Houghton, and almost through to Aldridge. Paul Allen, Klassen, doing well. Paul Allen again, Waddle, and there's the shot, and there's the save. GROBBELAAR looking so nonchalant as Waddle for once fired one in.
It's Spurs' best effort. Waddle's come inside it after a good run by Paul Allen, good work. Unfortunately for him, it's straight at GROBBELAAR. He has a little habit of letting the ball bounce in front of him in that. I don't think it's particularly good for him because it will come away from him one of these days.
A second substitution to be made on the Tottenham side, and it's the former Irish Youth International, London-born Tim O'Shea, who'll come on in place of the other youngster, Neil Ruddock, who was injured in that incident. O'Shea making his first senior appearance of the season. They know more about him down at Somerset Park in Newport, where he's been on loan. Tim O'Shea, 21 years of age. So I think a straightforward injury making Tottenham make that second substitution. So what we have is we hold about that. And half an hour of the second half gone. Quarter of an hour of the match remaining. It's Liverpool leading Tottenham by a goal to nil, having come off the boots of Steve McMahon in the 63rd minute. Clive Allen. Barnes. McMahon.
Johnston. And McMahon. Lawrenson. McMahon. Nobody picks up Barnes. Stevens eventually did.
Liverpool's great strength have always been at the back of the back four players, and it's no different today. And with Spurs reduced to 10 men, it's very, very difficult for them to get through the defence.
Seeking glory for himself there. Might well have been able to make use of that. Goal kick.
Again, that starts from Barnes giving the ball away in that position. I don't want to be too hard on him, but because he's such great ability when he gets the ball, and why he doesn't get wide and try to get turned at the opposition, I don't know. His pace and power, he should be able to take them on. He shouldn't be coming across the field all the time.
As far as Tottenham were concerned, even though Waddle wasn't able to make any points. Johnson. Johnston. Stevens didn't do terribly well there. It's now McMahon against Fairclough. Barnes. Steve Nicol. And Claessen's up there, but it's fallen to Johnston. Touch of inevitability about that.
Yes, they've got the game by the throat, and they really made the most of it there. Aldridge was exceptionally good in that position. If you notice the ball coming over, he's well aware of what's around him. Little flick onto Johnson to finish it off. Aldridge hasn't been in the game all that much, but around the goals he's deadly, and that showed he's aware of other people around the goals. Lovely little flick and a good ball from, I think it was Nicol in.
So 80 minutes, 10 to go, 35 of the second half have gone, and Craig Johnston gets among the goals for the first time in 6 weeks. And Gary Bannister scoring against his old club at Hillsborough, putting his present club in front. And the news that brought the biggest cheer at White Hart Lane was the half-time announcement that Kenny Jackett's goal had made it Watford 1, Arsenal 0. Well, the news for the North London fans here, disappointed at seeing their old team trailing 2-0, is that their bitter rivals from just across North London, Arsenal, are still 1-0 down at Vicarage Road. Arsenal will be remembered had a very good run last season, but after conceding a defeat, they were unable to get their act together, and it looks like 2 defeats in the trot for the Gunners this season as well. It wasn't the defeat that was worrying their manager George Graham, he said. It was how they responded to it. Well, they responded by going 0-1 behind at Vicarage Road, and there they must have about 10 minutes to play as well. So not a good day for the two teams in North London. 2-0 here to Liverpool.
Liverpool are well in control of midfield, and I must say Ronnie Whelan's had an exceptionally good game. Does everything very, very quietly, Ronnie. Doesn't really dominate. He's always covering the space. If Spurs make a break, he's there covering it, and he's always supporting the attack. There he is again, winning it there. He doesn't seem to be in it all that much, but he does very, very, very well for Liverpool.
Tottenham's throw. The movement of police around the perimeter of the pitch, what no player likes to see, particularly if he's on a losing side, because it means that the end is not very far away. But Tottenham's end is nigh.
I think even at this stage, George, 2-0 down, I think Spurs will be well pleased to hear the final whistle, because there's nothing really in this game for them now except maybe a couple more goals for Liverpool.
7 minutes to go. And Liverpool now certainly are going to remain top of the table tonight. And it looks like their gap is going to be 5 points with the game in hand. Queen's Park Rangers maintain their position at Sheffield Wednesday. They'll move into third, stay in third place, but move alongside Arsenal on 35 points, assuming Arsenal get nothing at Vicarage Road. Liverpool surely on their way to the 3 here will give them a total of 40 by tonight. Craig Johnston once more. Steve Nicol. And Parks once again saving Tottenham.
Well, I must say I feel sorry for the Spurs players in this, at this time of the game, because they're getting tired. Liverpool have had them run all over the pitch. Nicol here again coming down the left-hand side, pulling onto his right foot. Good shot on his right foot, Nicol. A good save again from the keeper, who's done very, very well for Spurs today. But Liverpool really are giving Spurs a hiding and a lesson.
Whelan. Johnston. Whelan again. Now John Barnes. Nicol. And Houghton. They may be going backwards, but still they're able to make best use of the ball. Mark Lawrence. Johnston. Mann. Lawrence was out there. It's McMahon now to Houghton. Struck long for Johnston, but Aldridge it was under pressure from Mitchell Thomas who got the header in.
I must say it's a beautiful game to watch when you see Liverpool playing like this. Everybody looking for the ball, plenty of space, looking to get it changed all the time, and looking to get shots on goal as well, which they didn't do in the first half.
It's Clive Allen who won it for Tottenham, sending Waddle away. And Waddle with that cross summing up the kind of afternoon it's been for Tottenham Hotspur.
Well, what a contrast to the match we had last week when Wimbledon were playing. And I know it takes they say it takes, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And Wimbledon won the game last week, but I know which way I'd rather watch the game played. This is the way I think it should be played, the way Liverpool are playing today. Beautiful movement, good players, good control, making everything look simple.
And the cop, the travelling cop, has managed to find its voice behind Bruce Grobbelaar's goal. The red scarves are held aloft. Liverpool are in command. It's Mabbutt, Klassen, Allen, and the free kick. Klassen jumping at Steve Nicol. They seem to be losing their way when they get in the final third of the field. Tottenham just running out of ideas. Bruce Grobbelaar. Now, only a matter of 3.5 minutes away from his third consecutive clean sheet. And it'll mean he's conceded only 3 goals in his last dozen games. Offside against Nicol. Liverpool's second substitution being made. Nigel Spackman goes on, and Gary Gillespie leaves the fray. Nigel Spackman, former Chelsea player, midfielder, who came on as a substitute against Newcastle back in September, and that was his last appearance in the Liverpool League side. Spackman doing what he did for Liverpool against the League of Ireland at Lansdowne Road and fulfilling a defensive function, albeit in just the last few minutes of the game. Houghton, offside awarded against Houghton, who run on into an offside position. And offside this time against a combination of Klassen and Clive Allen.
Well, I think Venables has said himself that Liverpool are always the yardstick by which you judge yourself, and you can see that today. And I know he's got a lot to do, and I'm sure he does himself, knows he's got a lot to do with the Spurs team. But the first thing he has to do is get a grip of the discipline, the type of thing that Hodge was sent off for. He can't afford to have things like that. And Liverpool were a perfect example of that today. Apart from their ability, their discipline, getting on the ball and no nonsense, not get involved in anything, apart from playing the game.
Well, there are several aspects of Liverpool's performance that's worth bearing in mind. The subtle switch at half-time, which put Mark Lawrence into right back and Steve Nicol to left, so offer support to John Barnes. The attitude, as John has been saying, that they've displayed throughout. When we had Steve Hodge being sent off for elbowing Ray Houghton in the face, then with Ray Houghton skipping away from a wild challenge by Clive Allen when he went for man and not ball. And Houghton continued on the run and set up the first goal for Steve McMahon. Liverpool have been doing it all right. Tottenham have had a few rough edges and are now staring yet another home defeat in the face. Aldridge battling on, and Houghton bringing down Mabbutt. It's a free kick to Tottenham on the edge of their penalty area. Into the final minute of the game. Tottenham, who played 6, drew 2 and lost 4 in the period subsequent to David Pleat's departure. Now add yet another defeat. It'll be played 7, lost 5 since he left them under a cloud. Waddle off, falling over, Nicol having fouled him. We're into stoppage time. at the end of the match, and no question now, Liverpool have won. And for Terry Venables, a measure of the gulf that has to be filled between just a football team and a successful football team. What a mistake by Grobbelaar. Very poor goal kick. Paul Allen found too many red shirts around. Johnston now. And Nicol. McMahon gone up ahead. It's Barnes. Lawrenson. Marvin interjecting. Cross from Johnston. And time for no more. The game is over. And Liverpool have beaten Tottenham Hotspur. The first goal from Steve McMahon in the 63rd minute. And then another from Craig Johnston, the substitute, to make it 2-0. Over 47,000 watched this match. Tottenham's biggest attendance of the season by far. But Liverpool very convincing winners.
Well, that's the way to play the game, particularly in the second half. A perfect example of how to exploit the team down to 10 men. They pushed it round. Gillespie, Lawrenson, all coming forward on the ball, and well-deserved win. And I think Spurs can take a lesson from that. I think Terry Venables could take a tape of that game and say to the Spurs players, that's what he's aiming for now.
Steve Hodge sent off in the 18th minute. Tottenham struggling thereafter, and Liverpool worthy winners at White Hart Lane. The final scoreline of Tottenham 0, Liverpool 2.